literally, and also on the live as well. All right, hey, um, I got new glasses. That's the color, I guess, because of the whatever thing I had added onto it for glare's sake. Um, that's what why it has that pink on it, but it's not really pink, I guess. I don't know. Um, I'm just trying to get used to them. I'm used to my Elphabas, what I call them. I'm back with cat eye again, um, which is great. Um, I improved my eyesight. That was the other reason why I was like, I need glasses so bad because I had to lift my glasses just to read because they were too powerful, whatever, too like, I needed something less powerful. Okay, so it's Sunday afternoon. I got a week off, right? And I know this sounds horrible, but I don't tell my brother when I have days off, except for the weekends, only because he won't remember and he'll get out of how can I say, out of the routine. So that's usually the reason why. Over the summer, of course, I basically spent the summer over there, so you know, um, and he was good with that. In fact, I mean, when I get my home renovated, I don't want like I don't know, maybe it's me being a sister at this point. I'm just like the things I see him doing at this apartment, which is mostly his. I was like, I don't want you taking that to my house, kind of thing. So that's me being a sibling, right? Okay, so I'm glad he has his own space, so he can do what he wants to in that space, but he can't do that stuff at my space. um, so last week or this past week, sorry, um, he, my brother, that is, um, I tried to get him to the doctor. I really tried. Like, um, I thought it was going to be better if I went. He seemed happy that I was going with him. It wasn't until we started going, he started to get panicky. Um, I wish I'd filmed it. That way more people can see, what actually happens. But I don't have a stand over here. I have one, but it's not very stable. So I wish I would have recorded, filmed what happened, so people can get more of a picture. Not to say I'm going to show it on social media at all, by no means. But I mean, I feel like more healthcare professionals need to see what it looks like when my brother is going into panic mode, because the best way I can describe it is he goes into a panic mode. Okay? Like his body literally, like, think about if you got punched in the stomach or you are about to do something that you've never done, like you're super nervous and you get that gut feeling in your stomach. That's him times 1,000. Then he'll get like overwhelmed, and then one of his other like go-to's is basically, um, I can't describe it other than I'm trying to be neutral in how I describe it, but when I say it sounds like he's being rude to people. Really, he doesn't know how to respond, or he reverts back to what helps him in the past survive. Okay, so Thursday. Okay, so when we got into the office, and I know I've explained this in another video. Office, he was fine. He was, okay ish, but nobody was there in the lobby, at the desk or anything. And that's kind of where he really started. He was like, hey, where's everybody? And he was like kind of being aggressive, like, I don't know. And so somebody came and I talked to her first, and my brother started talking over us both. not like, and the thing is this, I know some people are used to swearing and all this other stuff. He doesn't cuss. He doesn't swear. Um, so I think a lot of people, when they see him being the way he's being, they don't think it's that serious because everybody else on the planet, they cuss and do all the other stuff. It's like, no, but my brother doesn't cuss though. And he just tries to be like, I don't think it's trying. So I think he's just reacting to the fear that he's scared. And so, yeah, so the woman was talking to me, and then he was trying to talk over both of us. This basically, he did the same on the video chat, you know, too. But yeah, so the woman was talking to me, and he was trying to talk over both of us. And then she started trying to talk to him, and he goes into this weird question cycle. That's the best way I can be as neutral about it. So she'll ask a question, how are you doing today? And he's like, about what? And then she'll say, about, and then about who? And then, so he tries to tangle people up in questions. And so as she's trying to answer his questions, the other person comes who saw him at our apartment. So again, back to that where I'm glad somebody saw a baseline with him before being there in the office. So that other person, she comes up and she's like, oh, hi, Mr. his first name. And he is like, who are you? And he's like, remember, my name is Katrina. He's like, Katrina what? It's like, but I told him who it was. And so she's given her name, and he's again trying to go into this cycle of questions that are endless, nonsensical questions that don't lead to anywhere. So he's trying to get them to answer questions that he really doesn't want to know the answers to, that he's just asking random questions so that he doesn't have to answer their questions. So maybe that was the best way I could describe it. So yeah. And then by the time he gets upset because they're answering his questions. So you see what I mean? So they are answering his questions, and he doesn't like that. So, or I don't know. So again, I'm just trying to be neutral. Okay, let me rephrase that. So they are answering his questions. He is getting more panicked because that means I can't lead into what I think. All right, so this is what happened next. So they're answering his questions. Then he gets overwhelmed. Then they suggest, do you want water? And he's saying yes. Okay, so he's still in the game here, still trying to be there. So they give him water. He takes the water. This is a cup of water now. Note, remember what I said. It's like, he is not, how can I say this? Again, most people would assume that you would expect him to just throw the thing around, throw water around, and go all wild and stuff. But he is very, very, very uncomfortable. So he holds the water. He sits down. He tries to sip the water. I'm still trying to talk to one of the other, that's two women, one of the other women now. And the other woman is trying to talk to him. And then he goes into saying things like, oh, my eyes are watering, my eyes are watering, which they're not. My eyes are watering. So he doesn't have to look at her or respond to her the way that, most people would. He still has water in his hand, remember? And he's sitting down. And so then he finally calls out. He doesn't scream. He calls out, it's like, I can't see, I can't see. And so the lady suggests, well, maybe go to the bathroom, get splashing water in his face. That's when I already know he's about to leave. So he leaves with a cup of water. I thought about following him for a few seconds. I kept talking to the other woman, and for about 30 seconds, I kept talking to her. And then she suggested maybe you should go follow him or something. And I was like, okay, I already know that he probably ran off. But I just go ahead and look in the hallway right at the elevator. And again, he set the water down in front of the elevator. He left the water on that floor. I was trying to look to see if there was a men's bathroom. I saw the women's bathroom right away. So maybe I was thinking maybe he went to the bathroom because he has tried to do that before in the past, right? Um, but yeah, so he set the water down, and he I kind of just floated around again on the floor, just looking around to see was he wandering the hall or something like that. And then I went back into that office, and I was like, you know what, he's gone. He knows where the apartment is. So I stayed. So with all that being said, I'm just trying to find other ways to get him health care that he keeps wanting. Okay. So after all of that, I remember that one of the times that he did go to the emergency room, he got a head X-ray done. So I'm gonna go through the files, and I'm gonna